What's up, peeps? Straightforward TV coming at you with another one. We're going to be discussing, like the youth being addicted to the streets. What's the causes of them being addicted to the streets and choosing a life of crime? Hold on one sec. Yes. Let's go. How you, brother?
Good, you?
Man, taking one day at a time. You good to go?
Yeah, I'm good to go, bro.
All right, what I was saying.
I like your top, by the way.
I gotta represent that real focus, man. You know that. I gotta represent.
Come on.
Anyway, man, introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Big Frank. I'm here. Showing family to me. I'm gonna sit down and just reason today.
No doubt, man.
Try and educate some of these kids, you know?
Right. Hold on, let me pin a comment real quick. Hold on one sec. Okay. Okay. Why the youth fascinated with thug life, man? You know what I mean? Like, we spoke off air, so we're gonna get right to it. And I chose you to reason with this this topic because we got a lot in common. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We did a 360 with our lives. Turned out to be positive. I come from the streets. I know you went down them roads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a whole nother story though, but we're gonna deal with the topic at hand. And this today's youth, I grew up in the 90s, right? And looking back, I can compare this era to that era, and I'm seeing a lot of how should I say it? I'm seeing a lot of following. I'm seeing a lot of, identity crisis.
No originality.
Right. So from the 90s to now, what's your take on why the youth are just going haywire in these streets, man?
Do you know what it is? Like, the kids, you see, when we were growing up, I'm not glamorizing it that what we did was the right thing to do, but the thing is, there was a reason for what we did.
Right.
Family didn't have money. You don't want to lean on mom or lean on dad, make it feel. So we went out and got money to help the house.
Thank you.
We went out and helped the house, to help ourselves, to help your family, help your mom, help this, help this. The kids of today, they've come from a generation where their elders have just trained them to do the jobs they don't want to do no more.
Right.
So the thing is, they've trained them how to do the street stuff, but they haven't told them how to get out of the street stuff. Right. So these kids, they're just doing everything they can just to make sure they got money in their pocket. But the thing with these kids today, there's no purpose or no real reason why they're doing what they're doing. Because a lot of the kids today, their parents are our age.
Right.
They're our age, so they're still young, they're still going through things, you can still work. But the kids of today, they do it for image purposes. And to be accepted within a circle amongst their peer groups. Because you got kids out there that you're buying Balenciagas, you want to have 10 grand car, you want to have this, but you still want your mum to be living in that same house.
Right.
You're not giving your mum money for shopping. If you've got money for me, if you've got 10 grand to buy in a car, you've got 10 grand to put on a mortgage and get your mum out of the same area that you're in.
Talk to them.
So it's a lot of these kids, they watch films. they watch a film, you watch Scarface, you see Scarface is selling drugs and making money. But the thing is, you don't understand. He's a fictional character.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fictional character. An actor is played his role. An actor went to school, got his education, got paid how many millions to play that role. You're playing Scarface on the street, and you're not getting paid for it. Every kid on the street, even ourselves, even us growing up, the kids on the streets, we are just prawns. The only winner is the street, because you can make 10 grand, you can make 50 grand, but the thing is, you do one mistake, you're either going to end up in a coffin or end up in jail. But the street still puts the substitute on. You bring a substitute on and you're forgotten.
I keep telling them, streets don't have no emotions, don't have no
You're forgotten. Yeah.
It's not going to get you out of trouble, man.
Yeah, the streets doesn't have emotions. It doesn't care. It's not your mum. It doesn't care. So you can do whatever you want. You can glamorize it as much as you want. The streets, when was the last time you heard the streets say I love you? It doesn't talk. It doesn't talk.
When the last time you heard the streets say, I got your bail and your lawyer money?
There you go. You can go to jail. Your friends will tell you that they'll give you 150 reasons why they can't come. But when you come out, they tell you 150 reasons why we need to party up. You see what it is? People, you know, I can't really, as a person, I can't really knock the kids of today because we came from that same era. But the thing is, the only thing I'm thinking is, like, we had a real reason for doing things.
We had a cause.
You know?
Yeah.
I saw my mum. My mum loved, you know, my mum worked millions of dollars. My dad worked millions of dollars just to try and give us what she could. But the thing is, what we wanted was out of her budget.
That's right.
So we can't ask her. You know, imagine asking mum for Nike, and I know you're trying to give grade 5 kids and trying to give her as much as you can, but in our head, we ask for something different. It sounds like we're ungrateful. So we hustle just to make that money for ourselves. But the thing is, at the same time, what you got to understand is when you're in the streets, it's a very selfish act.
That's right.
It's a selfish act because the thing is, yes, you show more respect for your peers and your gang members that you're involved with than your own family. And the reason I say this is because you're happy for your mum to sit down and cry about whether you're coming home or is your son going to die, this, that. But you know what? If your friend or your older told you, come and do this, you're risking everything. You're not even considerate about what how your mum's going to feel.
And you don't know it at the time.
And you don't even know it. You don't know it because a lot of these kids, what they do is, well, they do all of this madness and you go back to your mum's house and lay your head. But the thing is, you've got beef with someone. You'll phone your friend and notify your friend that you've got beef. But you've got beef and you've come back to your mum's house. You're not even notifying your mum to tell you, mum, that somebody could potentially come in the house.
That's right.
You're not caring about your mum's welfare. So now your mum becomes a target outside as well. Because in this game, there's no rules. And the thing is, it's sad because when we were growing up, there was a little bit of rules. But now there's simply no rules. So it's mad. These kids are like, I don't like condemning kids because the thing is, it's all a learning process. But the thing is, they just need to just wake up. Because you see what it is? How many people do you have to lose on the way to gaining £2,000 or gaining £1 million or gaining that dream that you want? How many people do you have to lose on the way? Because that money that you make on the way, you can't buy these lives back.
Because you said you don't want to condemn today's kids, right? On that note, I want to shout out and big up the kids that are doing great. I want to big up the kids that are doing positive because they don't get enough credit from staying away from those paths. You know,
it's not fashionable, bro.
That's right. So shout out to them kids.
Yeah, 100%.
That be doing the right thing, man.
100%. Because they deserve everything. Because the thing is, you know, it's you know, this today's era now. We can't even say like before. You say, oh, you know, it's the parents' fault. It's not the parents' fault no more.
Oh, we're gonna get to that in a minute. Go ahead. Talk.
It's not the parents' fault. It's not the parents' fault. These kids have just got their own minds. You know, they come out, they watch something. Their friend says to them, "Listen, here, do you want to make a grand?" Boom, that's it. I'm sold. They sell their souls too quickly.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to like. And you answer like we can sit down and say, "Oh yeah, you know, we graduated from the streets. We're doing better now." But the thing is, I want you to come out of the streets. But the thing is, now this kid is earning £1 grand a week. What job can I give this kid to tell this kid to go and do that's going to give him that same money?
There is none.
There is none. So then it's hard for the kid to say, like, why should I go straight? You're ready to rest your life because the things you want a lifestyle. So now they don't see there's no attraction to working a 9-to-5 job where you're working for like maybe 10, 15 pounds an hour.
Right.
I'm sitting at home, I'm answering the phone and I'm getting like £1,000.
Right.
It's a no-brainer for them.
Check this out, Frank. Check this out. Coming up, right? You mentioned it's not our parents' fault. It's not our family settings or what we was exposed to coming up. When I was coming up, right? Not one of us used that excuse. Oh, my father wasn't around. Oh, it's because my mom's a single parent. Oh, I'm the only boy. No excuses. We knew what we was doing, and we knew the consequences. But at the same time, there's a lot of excuses running around because when you get to a certain age, man, you know right from wrong. You got options and choices to make, and you know there's consequences behind those choices, whether it be good or bad. You can make a good choice and have positive outcomes. You make a bad choice, you're gonna have negative outcomes. It's as simple as that, man. When you get to a certain age, you know right from wrong, and that's it. There is no, oh, my father's not around, so I hit the streets. If you hit the streets, you know what it involves. And there's only two options when you hit those streets. It's either going to jail or going to the cemetery. There's no in between. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the younger generation has to realize. There's two options you got, good or bad. If you're going to go the good route, you good. You go the bad route, you know what's coming of that. You know the results.
It's simple. It's simple. My mum always said to me, from the time you can walk to school by yourself, you're a man.
That's it.
Yeah, you are now accountable. Everything you do, you are now accountable. Because I don't have to walk you to the street no more. I don't have to walk you down the road no more. You're accountable. So from time I can dress myself, I can walk up and I can big and I can talk back to my mum or talk back to anyone. I'm a man. I'm accountable now. So whether your dad's here or your dad's not here, yeah, you know what? It is sad. It's a sad story. But the thing is, life still goes on. You've been waking up in your house without your dad for how many years now? You can't use that song no more. You have to get up and make your own life. You know it is? Because your dad's out there making his own life. Your mum's out there making her own life. You have to make up your own life. Because the thing is, there's going to be a time where mum and dad are not around anyway. So you're going to, what are you going to say? Because mum's not around now as well.
That's right. You
have to be your own man. You're accountable for what you do. So as a man, yeah, and I'm talking about a man from 14, because they start this young age now, up until big man age, you're accountable. I don't give people, I don't make excuses for young kids, because the thing is, kids are out there making money from age 14. Kids are carrying guns from age 14. If a man says to you, come and put this in your house, yeah, and you take it, you're accountable for that.
That's it.
You can't say, oh, I've been bullied, no, because the thing is, you know what is, you remember, everybody has a choice in life. You know what is, some people do put pressure on you. So some kids are actually pushed into things, and I understand that. And but the thing is, you know, and to talk on certain things is not seen as the way forward. I understand that as well. But the thing is, you still have a choice.
That's it.
You still have a choice, because the thing is, kids choose to stay there. If my mum was never in the street, my dad was never in the street.
Yeah.
But I chose to be in the street. Nothing to do with my mum, nothing to do with this, because I wanted to be better, bring more things to the house. But the thing is, although I had a good life, my mum cried many tears for every penny that I was bringing into the house. For the best part of 20 years, I sentenced my mum to hell. Do you know what that means? Like, to give your mum a life sentence of just crying, stress, not knowing if her child's going to be alive, or oh, my child's been shot, he's lying down in hospital, seeing your mum coming to see you in hospital strapped to wires. Like, it's not the best life.
That's right.
But that still didn't deter me. Seeing my mum crying every day, it didn't deter me from what I want to do, because it came out, it got past this, like, helping my mum, helping it. It started to build, now it become an ego thing.
Yes.
You know, because I'm at that age now, like, I've helped everybody now. Now I want to do me. Like, I like this life. I could buy what I want. I could do what I want. I don't have to worry about nobody no more.
Right.
you know. But people don't understand. On every step you take in the wrong direction takes you further and further from the people that love you.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Mum, I've seen mum cry 1,000 tears, but we got to the point where in my house, and I know it's never like that. My mum loves me to pieces, but it got to the place where I know I created such a little gap between us. It almost felt like I didn't fit in no more. And some of these kids, when they create this animosity, they'll get like a reaction from their parents. It's not that the parents don't love you. It's the parents that they're this way because you've created that in them. Because remember, we're all our kids. I'm 42. My mum will still hug me to death. I'm her baby, and now she'll talk to me like I'm still a kid. I'm still like, Mum, I'm a big man. But the thing is, you're always my baby.
Right.
But you know, for 20 years of her life, she saw somebody that she never knows. For 10 years now, I've been great. I've been good. And now, like, so basically, out of the 42 years, my mum's seen a good side of me for about 20 years. My mum only knows 20 years of me, and that's bad. And that's what these kids don't even realize. Like, when you're doing this, you're doing that. Yes, you're a hit amongst your friends, but in your house, you're causing big destruction in your house.
Hey, someone mentioned, right, selfish and selfless. You see, when I was getting into trouble back in the days, that's true words. And the reason I say that is because when I was getting into trouble, right, and this is what these people that choose the streets don't realize. When I was getting into trouble, my mom was trying to get bail money, lawyer money, coming to see me.
Yeah, pressure.
Court. Guess what? My friends wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying? This is why I say people, the morals and ethics are out because they're not rationalizing what's really behind all this. It's deeper than the streets and your friends. Because when the smoke is there, it's your family, your mom. That's the center of the smoke. When the smoke clear, then everybody comes around.
Yeah,
you understand
100%, bro. 100%.
So it's definitely, and another thing that I said before is when you know, you blame it on everything else. Your father not around. I didn't want to sound too raw with it, but that's what it is. But an influence, a man figure influence in a man's life can be a big, you know what I mean?
No, it can. It can.
The direction you're going. You know what I'm saying?
When kids are vulnerable and like somebody comes into your life and starts giving you a love, like whether it be fake love or not, to you, it's something that I haven't had.
Yeah.
So you kind of warm to it as a kid. But the thing is, and then it's like somebody come and, oh, you're right, let me show you love, give you hugs, get you trainers, get all these things that you never got from anyone else. It's easy for a young kid to fall in like an emotional attachment to that person.
Right.
So this person now once they've got you like that, it's easy to start to maneuver you around.
They're vulnerable. We vulnerable when we're younger, man.
Yeah, except the thing is, a lot of kids like even myself growing up, you like I was always a hard head, but the thing is, I had elders that would say to me, you know what, bruv, you're a strong kid. We could use someone like you. You know what? Come, we could use you to like do this and that for us, and we'll give you this grand and that grand and everything. In your head, you're thinking like, right, this is somebody who appreciates what I've got. But the thing is, when I look back at it now, and I'm saying to myself, bro, you a silly boy. You a silly boy. But when I'm younger, it's just like having a bigger peer. I didn't have a bigger brother. So that was my bigger brother.
Right.
So I warned him. When he's telling me, yeah, come, bro, just do that for me. No problem. Because I haven't got that. So we seek it. We seek it. Even though in my house, I can sit there and our mum and dad are always there for me. My brothers, younger brothers are always there for me, but it's not the same. It's not the same. But this is why I understand. I can kind of reason with the kids of today a little bit. But the thing is, what I don't reason with is you got to now, like, there's got to be a time where you say to yourself, you know what? I've done a lot now. I need to get out of this. I need to grow up. Right. Do you know what I mean? Like, kids, you're making money on the streets. Yeah, the kid that was in your class that you're bullying, the other day is now graduated. He's owning his own house. He's owning his own business. Like, you got to look at this guy and think like, right, like he's done all of this and he's not been in trouble. Right. Nobody's raiding his house. Nobody's fighting him. No, he can walk the streets every day and he's still living good. There's got to be other things, but you know, in today's world, which is so sad, to achieve legitly, it's not fashionable. It's not held up.
Yeah.
If you're a gunman and you shot down 50 people, you're held in this as high as God is. You're high as God, but you work. Oh no.
Yeah.
It's boring.
Yeah.
Like even us, you change your life around. People say, "Oh look, you'll feel off." You don't even know when you're trying to talk to them. Nah, you don't even know what it is.
But you know what, Frank? Check this out. I'm glad you said that. You see, when they say, "Oh, that's boring," guess what you got to do now? You got to cut them off. That's not your circle no more. If it's not fashionable to my people, I don't need to be around y'all. I want people to pick me up for working and hustling and grinding legitly. You understand what I'm saying? Legitimately. If you're not bigging me up in that aspect, I got to cut you off. Because you want bad for me. You want me to go the illegal way. So that, guess what? I don't need you in my life. That's what these kids need to realize. If they bigging up me being in the roads, robbing stuff, shooting people up, and that's fashionable, I don't need them friends, man. When I get to that frame of mind, okay, I gotta cut them off. Cause they bigging this up instead of me going for a 9-to-5 or going to enhance my education. You know what I'm saying? I gotta cut you off now.
100%. And a lot of things, what they don't understand is like, real talk, you'll be in a group of people. You could have a group of 10, 20, 30, 40 people in your circle. You go fight together, you go to club together, you go holiday together. But how many of them would you trust in your house where your girl's there? How many of them would you trust in your mum's house? So these people, they're not your people. Because if you can't bring them even to your mum's house, you can't bring them around your family, they're not your people. But you'll be sitting there worried like, no, I can't have him around my girl. I can't have him around my friend. I can't have him around my family. These are not your people.
Nah.
These are not your people.
Especially if you're questioning it.
Yeah, and the things, 9 times out of 10, most of these people that are involved in all this gang, bang, 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 like when we were, you don't really trust people. You don't really, because you know what you're capable of doing. You've seen what you've had to do in order to get your come up. You've seen what your friends had to do to get your come up. So you know what they're capable of. So if anything goes wrong, you know what you have to face. So in your head, you've always going to have that little, you have to have that safeguard. Because if you fall out, now it becomes a situation. So you never really trust your circle. You never really trust your circle, but you trust your house.
Right.
But the house, we trust the house, is the one that we give the least respect to when you're on the road.
So what you think about what's really influencing these young kids to glamorize their life? Because I remember back in the days, right? And I always compare because I'm older now and I'm looking back.
Yeah.
Back in the days, music didn't have the influence on us. Nowadays, I think music has a lot to do with the influence. Back in the days, we didn't have to prove ourselves for street credibility. You already knew what it was.
Yeah.
Now you got to prove yourself and try to get that street respect and credibility and try to fit in and be cool.
Music
and all
plays,
that.
people don't
You know
realize.
So what you think is happening in today's society as far as that goes?
Music plays a big part of the problem.
Yeah.
Because music, people
social
are
media.
Yeah.
Someone says social media. Definitely social media all day.
Yeah, and social media as well. But see, music, social media, anything reality. Remember, it's an illusion created for people to look at and see as real.
Yeah.
So these people, music, when you write music, like I could be some A grade student, but I'm talking about killing someone. The thing is, people believe in what they hear, and then they follow it. Because you see me in my house with 10 watches and a pile of money, and I'm rapping. You think, oh, automatically, yeah, that's the lifestyle. These could be prop for you know. So
Right.
music has a big message. So I would always, that's how I always, growing up, I was into Nas. I like the message. I lived more deep and all that. But the thing is, music was just music then. We put our
Yeah.
head on, we bounced to it. And you know what? When I'm out, music was turned off.
Right.
I'm doing what I'm doing. But today's world, like literally, people that don't have beef down to music. You mention somebody's name in music, you say the wrong area in music, now you've got beef.
Beef.
Before, there was no problem.
Mm.
So music has a big part of today's society. And kids are easy influence because you know what is? To be able to say certain things on track and be able to do it, it's like the freedom of speech.
Right.
Yeah? Because you know a man, if you're not certified in saying what you're saying, you'll be called out in road.
Mm-hmm.
But on the music, I can say I'm killing this and I'm doing this, because it's just music.
Right.
So it's justifiable. So the message, so it gives people a chance to be their alter ego. You know,
Right.
everyone, Clark Kent could be Superman for 16 bars. Do you know what I mean? It gives them that chance to do that. And the message is just passed on and on and on. And it's a bad message.
Mm.
But the thing is, it's what's glamorized.
Right.
When you glamorize these things and like you continue to glamorize, everybody wants a part. Because if I'm selling records and making money from selling, I'm shooting somebody. Oh, you know what? I might as well make records and sell. I'm shooting, because how many people make money from saying, yeah, I studied, I went to university, graduated, I got a job, I'm doing a 9 to 5. You don't hear it. You don't hear it.
Yeah, man.
It's not fashionable, bro. Nobody wants to know about your 9 to 5, your black gown that you earned through studying. Nobody wants to know about that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know who's the trapper, who's the man running the ends, who's the hardest, these are what people want to know about.
Yeah. Someone said, how you're perceived on socials carries more weight than in reality. Your worth is decided by how many likes and followers. Perfect point. Perfect point. You know why? These young kids, right? If they don't have a certain amount of followers or get a certain amount of likes, their confidence is shot.
Completely.
You understand what I'm saying?
Completely.
So now they're doing everything in their power to do and get those likes and followers up.
Come on. Speak it.
They live for that. And that's sad, man. It's very sad, man. Very sad.
This is the world. The world that we're in today now is not a real world no more. It's like a big TV screen. It's just everything about life is image now. What you're wearing, down to like people judge you on just the basics, like what you're wearing, how your shoes fit, how your this fit. It's everything is to do with image. So the world that we live in now is just a big reality TV. We're living in a world where it's just like image plays the key. So it's not, nobody cares about your education no more. Nobody cares about your setup anymore. Nobody cares if you got one dad or you got 12 dads. Nobody cares. They just want to know how much you're making, how much you sold, what's your street tag name. Like, you got grown people my age. You got a tag name.
Yeah. Yeah.
How can you have a tag name at this age? Like, when I was younger, yeah, you were big, yeah, but the thing is, don't you dare call me by that name now. I've outgrown, you know what it is? I've outgrown that name and I've outgrown that lifestyle. You see, I've got 4 kids. How can I be sitting there? I don't sit in the house. My kids can't call me by that name. Yeah? So why am I letting people that don't relate to my world call me by the names?
Right.
See, the world is a funny world, because the thing is, people like to call, like, I've got people that still call me them kind of names, and I'm like, nah, when I'll put them up and say, like, what are you using them names for? Nah, bro, because when you're back, I said, listen, you see, back in the day, that shows you that you haven't even grown, because you're still talking about Frank back in the day.
Right.
I don't even know that guy no more, bro. I don't even know that guy, bro. He's been a victim for my life for for a good solid 10 years now.
Right.
I don't even drink, but I'm ready to drink.
No, Donna, you cannot call me legit no more. I've grown out of that. Oh man, yeah, man. But it's funny because nowadays, right? You got. I see it all the time on social media. What happens is, because they live for social media, that person has to deal with their inner self. There's deeper stuff going on, right? If you're living for likes and followers, and I say it all the time, if you're living for likes and followers, there's deeper stuff going on inside of you. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be your self-esteem, whether it be your confidence, whatever the case is, because I've said it, I say it all the time. I don't do this for likes. I don't do this for followers. This little thing I got going on, this is good for me. You know what I'm saying? Because like I told you off camera, if we touch one person, mission accomplished. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here
this is you. This is you. This is you. There's no script. There's no, oh yeah, introduction, cut, second segment, blah, blah. This is you. This is why you do it. And this is why when you say to me, I'll come do it, I'll do it because it's authentic.
Right.
Forget family and forget how we're connected. Forget all of that. Because the thing is, even your own family can be the biggest dogs in this world, bro.
Talk to them.
So the thing is, it's about authenticity, bro. If you ain't sending that message, trust me, and it's not getting delivered to me, I ain't interested, bro.
Yeah.
Because don't preach to me about a life that I'm not into.
Right.
Preach to me about the life and how you change your life. Because how you change your life, I can relate to.
Right.
Do you understand? Because I'm not the only father on this planet. We all have 4 kids. What you don't understand, if I'm 42 now, I've been straight, solid, no nothing for 10 years. Yes? That means my oldest daughter is 18 years old. Yeah? So that means I've only been legit in her life for 8 years.
Right.
You see, for 10 years, I lied, I lived a lie because I couldn't tell my daughter and my kids what I'm doing as a living.
Right.
You'll tell them I'm doing business or I work in the gym or did it, but no, you're not. No, you're not. You're out there creating harm to somebody else's family, somebody else's kids. So what it is now, so people got to realize this, because the thing is, it's bigger than just you and your friends and your postcode and your family. It's bigger than that.
Right.
Whatever you create, remember, it falls on somebody else's shoulders when you're no longer around.
Absolutely.
And more than likely, that's your kids. Your kids, they start carrying the same burden that you dragged around. Because if you don't change and they don't see the change, why should they change?
Right.
Why should they change? So I always say to, like, me, I'm about, like, I'm trying to give my kids a positive role model to follow. Because a lot of these kids, they don't have positive role models to follow. Because a lot of them, their older brothers are doing the same thing. Their dads are still young enough to do the same, hit the street still. So they're taking them along. Or you're walking down the road, you're going to school, people are talking about your dad. Oh, your dad's a this, your dad's a that. So everything's glamorized. You see, when they talk about to my kids about my dad, I just want them to say, listen, you know what? Your dad's a trainer, your dad's a this, he's this, that. You don't need to know nothing else. Because you see, whatever else, it was just part of my journey. That's just the intro to my life.
Right.
I'm writing my life now. It's going to be the bestseller because life has completely changed. Do you understand? So that's what we're trying to give to the kids. You can't give them, it's hard to speak to kids and tell them to change when you haven't changed yourself.
Right. You gotta lead by example, man.
Yeah, but more than examples, you got to lead by the classroom. You've got to be the teacher. You've got to be the teacher. No, you're no longer the student. Take yourself up to the front and be the teacher. Tell that kid that this is what you need to do. I did it so you can do it.
Right.
You know what it is? I understand the kids you can't give them what the Balenciagas or this or that. But the thing is, what you can give them is hope. You see, hope can give you everything you want in life and more. Right. Because you work hard and you keep believing in that things can change. Things change. People look at like 9 to 5s or getting a job or studying as they look at the duration of it. They don't look at the end part when you've graduated and you can get a good job and you know what, and I can earn, like, be a big doctor, or I could be a lawyer, I can even start my own business and earn everything that I ever did on the road legitly without anyone following me. You know?
There's some blatant stuff going on, Frank. blatant stuff.
100%.
I'll tell you one of them, right? You see the messages, all right, controversy sells, right? So you see the messages in this music and social media.
Yeah.
These big dudes, celebrities, musicians, they got a platform to turn things around. But if they do that, they're not going to sell. You get what I'm saying? It's the industry's designed like that to keep our failures at a high rate. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%, bro.
If they talking murder, drugs, this, that, and the third, they selling. Once they get on that conscious music, they're not selling. As you can see, all these conscious rappers, you don't even see them. You don't even hear them on the radio.
No.
You know what I'm saying? No. You hear all that trap. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of talent out there. I'm not knocking their talent. But the message they sending is what's selling and what's on repeat all day on the radio, all day on social media. That's what's selling, and that's what's getting through to these young minds. You understand what I'm saying? You? But they got a platform to turn it around, but they're not doing it. Because they won't sell, they're going to lose their livelihood. Imagine
you've got 1 million followers for talking about getting up in the morning, not showering, picking up my phone, answering a call, going meeting a crackhead, selling this, counting my money, cleaning my gun, and putting it back in my house and going back. You get 1 million followers for doing this.
Right.
Imagine if that same person used his energy and said, you know what? I'm changing my life. Let's do this right way. Do this way. The same. Imagine the influence. He may not touch the 1 million people that liked him, but I'm sure he'll touch two people. He'll touch at least two people.
Yeah.
He'll touch two people and they say, oh, you know what? Right. My man's growing. Because the thing is, if everyone pushed that way, yeah, because there's an agenda in the game, but people don't see it. Yeah. There's a big agenda. You know what? People just don't see it because everybody will blame like music industry. We blame this, we blame it. But what you got to do is, you know, the blame's got to start on yourself first. Because you still chose to follow it. You knowing that in your head, you know what it is. You choose to follow it. Because what I always say to people, if you look at yourself in the mirror, right? Do you see the same person that your kids see when they look at you? My kids look at me, I'm a golden child. When I was growing up, I look in the mirror, I see somebody completely dead to them. So the thing is, what you got to understand is like, people have to understand it's that deep. You are, when you're in a position of power, you have to talk.
Right.
We do this, bro. We might not even touch anyone. Everyone might say, oh, shit, you'll do this to them. But the thing's, at the end of the day, there's no harm in trying.
Of course.
Because even if it is only my children I can stop from going down the same roads, bro, we've achieved something. Because if it's good enough for me, then it should be good enough for my kids as well.
Of course.
So if it's not good enough for your kids, then you're doing something wrong. Don't say because the thing is, what people got to understand is, you're not doing it for your kids to give your kids a better life. You're not, because every time you go out, there's a risk that your kids may never see their dad again. There's a risk that you might be going to jail, and my kids, the only way I can see my dad is when I'm going to visit him. So you're not doing it for your child. You're doing it for yourself, but you're using your child as a reason to justify your action. Nothing to do with the kids. I don't see that them times there. I'm sorry, they're all rubbish because you're not doing it. Because any sensible dad will not put their life at risk so their child can sit at home and cry for the rest of their days.
Yep.
You wouldn't. So the thing is, back now, when I hear this story now, I think this is nonsense. Because the thing is, you kids that don't even really know struggle. You don't know struggle. What? You're 12 and 13. What do you know about struggle? You're in your mum's house. You're not paying rent. You're eating food. But worst way, you've got at least got a tin of beans in your ass. You don't know struggle. Someone's still buying your uniform for you to go to school. You don't know struggle. You get on the bus. You show your ID, free. You don't know struggle. You don't know struggle. But the thing is, you'll sit there, hoods up, yeah. No, you've never known struggle. You've never known struggle. You're 14 years old. You've got a house to stay in. There's people that are 50, 40 years old that have worked all their life. Somebody's died. You know what? It's not them. You know what? They've gone to drug habits and they're sleeping on the road. That's struggle. They know struggle. You don't know struggle because you go home to your mum's house with your 15 tog duvet, get underneath it and go to sleep and wake up again. You don't know struggle, bro. You ain't on that struggle.
Yo, that word struggle became a part of their vocabulary because they want to be a part of that. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're using that word struggle. Oh, I come from nothing and this and that. They don't know what nothing and struggling is, like you said. And another thing, in tech, when it comes to these people that can change and have an influence, integrity plays a big part, man. They don't have no integrity. You understand what I'm saying? For example, if I'm a rapper, which most kids listen to, right? And I know a lot of my kids, a lot of these young people are streaming my music, right? And I got integrity. I'm going to send a different message because I want these kids to do better. I don't want them glorifying guns and murder and this and that. So I'm going to change it up and start putting out positive messages. But these dudes don't have no integrity because that's the way they make a living. So they don't care about who's streaming their music and who's glorifying their music. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not knocking them. Get your money. I'm not knocking nobody's hustle. Get your money. But I'm talking about people that get on here, talk about, yo, we care about the youth and this and that. All right, switch it up. Because you got the platform to switch it up and make a difference. But they don't. So they don't really care.
No, you don't care. You don't care. Because if you cared, every thing, message that you send, whether it's in your music thing, it would have something constructive to the kids. There'll be something to tell them, like, you know what, change your life around. There's nothing. Because the thing is, you know what it is? Being negative sells. It's like the world is weird. I sit down and I say to tell myself, like, oh, that's good, you know. Like, you're really doing well in school. He said, yeah, Dad. And they start telling me about these kids and that kids in the school. And I'm like, right, like, you get more praise to be the class clown than you do from someone who gets an A grade.
That's right.
It is mad right now. The world is like, and the message is completely wrong. Because even like down to teachers as well. You have a reason. Instead of telling the kids, you know what, you're going to be failure because he's not doing nothing. Why not give the kids, say, like, you know what, buck your ideas up. You have what it is to be something. Because you know what? I believe in my heart of heart, God made everybody a genius. God made everyone special. But the thing is, it just takes, some people take longer to find their calling.
Yeah.
But a lot of people along the way, they feel that they must go through different chapters of life in order to, before they decide, oh, you know, let me open my eyes and actually do what I'm meant to be doing.
Yeah.
Like you said, like to come from nothing, you put yourself prepared to throw yourself on the street just so you can say that you've made, in 10 years time, I came up and I've done this and I've achieved, when you don't have to put yourself in the street. You could have come up just legitly as well. But the thing is, to be on the street and I've come from nothing and now I've got something, it's like for you, it's, yeah, I've really done well. But how about waking up and not being on the street? How about not allowing yourself to get low like that? How about, you know what, I see my mum's low, so why am I see my mum struggling, so why am I going to go out there and struggle as well? Let me do something different that maybe mum didn't do, so I can change something. Like, the whole message of behind everything is completely lost. These kids today, I love them to pieces, and I'll never knock the kids because I have my own kids, you know, and we pray that they don't follow our roads. But the thing is, they've got a lot of questions to answer, you know, bro. And you can't, nowadays, you can't blame, oh, it was your older's fault, it's this fault. Yeah. Your olders that were doing what they're doing, they're not even doing that no more. Your olders have got jobs. Some of them have got businesses. They're doing legit things. And one person I always big up as well is my pal Tricky. He's doing things. He came from something and he's totally changed a complete platform. You know, the respect he gets, yeah? Now, I don't know if it's the same as what the respect he used to get on the road. But the thing is, people will always know you for being on the road. Right. Even when you're not on the, like, you don't get glamour. You don't get rating for changing your life. You get ratings for what you did on the road, though. You know, I rate somebody who can stand up, who's gone through all that hell, and he hasn't hit the grave, or he hasn't hit the jail for 100 years, and he can now sit down and he's in a better position, and he can talk to people and say, you know what? You see these shoes I walked in, they're not for you.
Right.
You don't know what I went through just to get to this, just to get peace of mind. Because you can gain money, you can gain respect, you can gain notoriety, you can gain that big boss respect, but you can't gain peace of mind out there. You can't. Peace of mind comes when you can go to your house and sleep. You don't have to drive around the block 3 times. Peace of mind knows where I can leave. I can go on holiday for 2 months. I'm not worried about whether my mum's house is going to get shot up or my missus' house is going to get shut up or someone's going to. That's peace of mind, and you get that when your mind is completely clear. You have to apologize for yourself, because you know what? What people don't understand is just because you change your life and you've forgiven yourself, the families that you've crushed, how do you know they haven't forgiven you? They haven't forgiven you. So it's an ongoing cycle regardless. You may have changed your life. So you've got to understand that whatever you do, there's a consequence for it. Even when you change your life, somebody's still hunting for you out there.
Of course. Of course.
Somebody's still hunting for you. So you need to play the game properly, because these kids, they don't understand this. They do not understand this. They think it's, you know, it's simple as just waking up, going to bed, do this. It's not that simple. One thing that
I hope, if any young people hear this conversation we're having today, one thing that I hope they realize is that karma plays a very important role in this too. When you hit those streets and you're destroying other people's lives, you're robbing, you're selling drugs, you're doing this, you're doing that, shooting people. Karma, don't forget about karma. Whether it be a year from now, 5 years from now, let me tell you something, man. And I never said this, you know, publicly. As you know, my son passed away 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? And when he passed away, this is deep for me because it has something to do with me growing up. When he passed away, I'm asking God, like, is this something from my past that I did that caught up to my son? You know what I'm saying? I was bashing myself because I believe in karma. You get what I'm saying? Karma don't have to come to you directly. It can come to you in other parts of your life. You know what I'm saying? And I was beating myself up asking questions because I don't know the answers. He died in a car accident. Yeah. And I'm asking myself, like, is this something I did in the past that caught up with my son? You know what I mean? I'm asking all these questions because I've done a lot of grimy stuff in my past, man. And it's deeper than what these young kids think, man. You can't keep ripping and running where things won't catch up with you.
100%. 100%. And the thing is, it's like, when I sit down and I look at life, yeah, I say to myself, you know what, bro, you've done a lot of nonsense, yeah. And like, I've never been a person, I don't speak, like, anything I've done, people know. I don't speak on my life because it's not something I would glamorize, and I don't want to send myself somewhere I don't need to be. But all I will say is, like, you know, I've learned a lot and I've lost a lot, because the time that I invested in doing rubbish, yeah, I could have been using to build myself up. The stuff that I'm doing now, yes, it's good that I'm doing it now, but I could have been 20 years deep into what I'm doing now. You know, my kids could have been at a higher level now because they'll have a wiser understanding of what really goes on in this world. But my mindset is only started from 2010. I said to myself, you know what, that it's time to change, but your ideas are like, bro, I've been existing since 1978. I'm telling you, in 2010, my life, I'm a changed man. Like, I've been born again. But the thing is, that's a hell of a long time that mum, my brothers, everybody's had to endure. Because when I'm living my life, my brothers are living that life as well. My mum is living that life as well, because they're seeing everything and they have to deal with the consequences. If something happens to me, it happens to them. So everything I go through, my parents and brothers have to go through it 10 times over. But the thing is, I know what is coming out there for me. So I'm prepared. They're not prepared for it because they're not from this world. So the thing is, it's even more selfish of me. Because when we get in this game and when we get in the thing, and even the kids of today, you're not thinking about that. You're just thinking about yourself. How can I do this to benefit me? You're not thinking about the damage that you're doing, because physically you're not doing nothing out there that you're not doing it to your mum. You're doing it to other people's family, but you're not thinking about your mum. But the thing is, just because you're hurting somebody else's family and no one's hurting your mum, but do you know what your mum is hurt? You're hurting your mum every time she hears, you know what, he's been nicked, or he's in the police station, or he's in a hospital, or he's doing this. People don't realize your mum, your parents know everything about you just because they don't tell you. Just Absolutely. Like the way you on the roads, the streets talk, everybody talks.
That's right.
You know? My mum can tell me things about myself that I'll never ever testify to in life. But she'll tell you, yeah, I know you did this, I know you did this, it's not good, it's God. And I always say to you that that's why I always hail up my mum to the end. Even though she gets on my nerves and she rinses me 24, I hail her up to the end, because the thing is, every word that she comes at me with is fully deserved.
Facts.
Fully deserved, because
I can't hear you, Frank. Okay.
Huh?
Yeah, I hear you now. You cut out for a minute.
Yeah, it's very hard. When I sit down and I put myself in my mum's shoes, would I be able to put up with all the stuff that I put her through? And I'm probably not. Probably not. So the hell that you put your parents through, you know, the little words that you don't like to hear, sometimes, you know, you have to just sit down and take it. Growing up, there was times where, you know what, you get in a situation and you're in your zone, and you know, like you've become in a bad place. So sometimes you even have to sit down and, like, people are just talking to you, and you know in your head, like I could actually destroy this person. I've already played it out in my head how I'm gonna do it. And sometimes you have to talk yourself down.
Right.
I got to a place in life where I used to fight all the time, and I'm thinking, I have to get in a situation, I have to talk myself down. Sometimes you have to take the L and let someone, oh yeah, you're pussy, you're this or that. No problem. Because I know if I let go, there's a bigger consequence for me. Absolutely. And this person, I'm looking in your eyes and I'm saying to you, like, what you're saying, you don't even believe it. You don't believe it. When you're telling me, do you know who I am? You don't even know who you are, because you're not even looking in my eyes when you're saying it. So sometimes it's not every situation that needs to be addressed. See, sometimes, but where we got this ego thing, after a while, you start to think, oh no, I can't have this one talking to me. That's one talking to me. That's where the problems start.
Yeah.
You start talking with yourself, and you're talking yourself into doing things. Right. Me, I used to talk myself out of doing things because my head was too hot. And the thing is, it only got to the point where I see, like, you know, people closest to you, like loved ones, starting to follow your footsteps, and I realized, you know, I've really messed up. You see, like, kids copying your way, brothers copying your way, family members copying. You've messed up, because I'm the oldest. I'm meant to be leading the ship here now. Now I'm sitting down as part of the crew. I'm not meant to be the captain, but I'm sitting down as part of the crew because we're all doing the same thing. So I failed myself. And the thing is, when you sit down, that's when you have to address yourself. You have to sit down and say, like, listen, there's more to life than what you're doing.
Right.
There's more to life than what you're doing. You know, how many tears is mommy gonna cry for you? How many times is dad gonna bail you out? How many times is your brother gonna hear your name on the road negatively? How many times?
Hey,
how
Frank,
many times do you wake up?
You mentioned, you know, when your mom was rinsing you and nagging and all that. One key word, man, that I wish I did when I was younger. Listen. Oh, see, if you listen, there were so many adults in my ears back in the days. And guess what? I didn't listen.
Yeah, it's shocking, isn't
it? That's what I'm trying to tell the kids nowadays. If I would have listened, I would have never went down certain roads. You know what I'm saying? Listening is a very big key factor, man.
People don't realize.
But when you're going through it at a young age, just like, they preaching, nagging in your ear and all that. No, they're talking real life experiences that they don't want to, that they don't want you to go through. And guess what? I turn my back on it. So when you turn your back on listening to the elderly and people that know that what they're talking about, it's, you know, it can lead you down a path where you got, all right, you don't want to listen, you'll fail. You don't want to listen, you're going to learn. You know what I mean? I go through them. I've been through it with my own kids. I always say, I don't want to come off preaching. I just want you to listen. That's it. But it's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard.
And you see, when your kids know where you've come from, it's hard to tell them not to go down that same road because they think, but Dad, you did it. You did it. You did it. This is what you come from. And then the thing is, now you're stuck in a situation because the thing is, they're not chatting rubbish here now.
Yeah.
But just because I did it doesn't mean you have to be as stupid as I was.
You gotta break the cycle.
You got to break that cycle because the thing is now you've got a dad that went through stupidness in order to try and like it took. Look how many years of his life he wasted. Why would you want to waste your life?
That's right.
Yeah, be better than me. Be better than me. Yes, you like the dad now, but be better than me. It took me 31 years to get to this dad that you like now. Be better than me. Because one day you're going to be in my shoes. So whatever you create during your youth, one day you're going to be sitting here, like when you get to my age, if you get there, and your kids are going to be saying to you, but Dad, I want to do this. And then what do you say then? What do you say then? So you're in a position now, you're still young, grow the right way. So when your kids come to you for help, you can, and need something, or they need a simple conversation, you've got the right responses to give them.
Right.
When your mind's stuck out there, you ain't got the right mind to feed them. That's and what people must understand is this, and I always say this, because my kids mean everything to me. You got to think about what you're doing when you're out here. Yes, you make money. Yes, you do it. But remember this, you're using that street world to come and give your kids something that you, as at the cost of somebody else's family.
Yeah, yeah.
At the cost of somebody else's family. Now, if you're happy giving your kids blood money or this, that, then so be it. I know when I was growing up, if I came home and I said, all right, Mum, here, take this money, my mum would ask me where you got it from. And she knew I didn't have it, even if my mum had no money. You know, my mum would rather eat oxygen than take my money because my money was no good.
That's pure ethics right there. Good morals.
You'd rather have eat the oxygen than take the money here. Because the thing is, you know what? If I'm preaching to you about something good, I can't then start taking from a bad hand.
Right. Right.
Do you understand? So it goes hand in hand. And what people are in this world as well, when we're out here, is like, you're going outside, you're doing what you're doing, you're mashing up people's families over here, you're touching this, doing that, and then you're coming with the same energy, the same body that you just created destruction to come and hug your kids with the same hands and think it's disgusting, bro.
And another thing, if you accept their money, you're condoning what they're doing.
Of course
they're going to continue doing what they're doing.
Why should I change? If it's good enough for mummy and mummy's doing it and mummy's smiling and she's able to pay the bill, why should I change?
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what it is? It's bigger than paying bills.
That's right.
Because the thing is, the minute you take the bill, you're saying to my son, you know, it's okay to do what I'm doing. Because your son can get the same money by going to get the job. You might have to wait
take longer
to pay that bill.
But you'll get there.
You might have to pay one per month to pay that bill. But you know what? I know that I know that my son's gonna come home every day and I see him.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
and another thing, man. Another thing that comes with the street life, man. Stress. You're constantly looking over your shoulder. It's real. You're constantly looking over your shoulders. You can't go to certain areas because you might have enemies. You can't do this. You can't live a normal life.
No, you can't.
These kids need to realize what comes with the street life. And they're not comprehending it, man. They're not listening. So there's a point where you come to and you say, you know what? If you don't, like we said before, if you don't listen, you got to learn the hard way.
You have to learn the hard way.
It's sad, but it's the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sad but the truth, man.
But the thing is, because you know what? Like I always refer back to my mum because my mum was being my biggest inspiration in my life and my biggest thorn in my side, because she always used to tell me, "Listen, you know what, son? All I can do is pray for you. You're not going to kill me because you're not going to kill me because you choose not to listen. I rebuke that, but I can pray for you and hopefully everything. The fact that I'm hearing this every single day, my mum comes and sometimes she's looking at me and I can see like there's no tears, but I can see tears inside her flowing. It's deep, bro.
For real.
And that wasn't enough to change me. Having kids wasn't enough to change me. Like you realize when you get into this world, you're signing your life away. You're initiating yourself to a different normality. Like you're cutting off the things that could save you from in this world to live amongst things that will kill you in this world. So it's deep. Kids don't realize it.
One message I got, right, that I got to sympathize with because I experienced it personally. I was the eldest and I had 4 younger sisters. So imagine I'm the eldest.
Yeah.
Only boy, right? The streets became my older brother or brother, so to speak. So one thing I got to sympathize is with, and I hope this gets to somebody is,
Sean,
huh?
I'll send you another request. Dispatch is going to go.
Say it again?
I'll send you another request to join it again because Dispatch is going to go. I'll send you a request. Yeah, but I'll send you another one. Send me.
By who?
By me.
Oh, it might not go through.
Okay.
Because I didn't get it.
Okay, all right, cool. No worries. Keep going.
Yeah, so if you're in the same predicament, the only advice I could give is on the other side, it's not pretty. Stick to your guns, weather the storm. I know it's easier said than done, but we have to stick to our integrity, stick to our morals, stick to what's right, do the right thing, and keep persevering, man, because if we choose other alternatives that's negative, we're going to end up in negative situations regardless of our situation at home, man. You know what I mean? So I just want to get that out there. But Frank, your battery's going to die.
I'm all right now. Go on.
Oh, okay. But yeah.
Just remember, Sean, tell them.
Yeah.
There's no sunshine in hell. Yeah. There's
Only
no
fire.
sunshine in hell.
Only fire.
There's no sunshine in hell. So when you're doing all that negative stuff, know that it's nothing to do. There's nothing heavenly about it, and there's no sunshine in there.
Yeah, man. No finish line. Life is like a marathon. That's right.
No. Come on. There's no sunshine in hell, man.
But listen, man. We're gonna do this again.
100%, my brother.
And, I want to keep putting these messages out there because I got a passion for that. Because, like I said, we come from that, and I want to try to get everybody, you know, sharing and getting it through to other folks and younger people.
Yes.
Like I said, man, like they might not, that's nonsense, and keep doing what they're doing. But if it touches one, that person might share it to another, change his life around, and it's a domino effect. That's what we want.
Is.
You know what I'm saying? So,
passengers of positivity, mate. That's what we want, bro.
That's it. I'm not trying to be on here glorifying all this nonsense. And you know the funny thing, what you said before was facts. If you put up nonsense, you get 1 million views. If you put up sense, you may get 100 views if you're lucky. And that's a known fact. You know what I'm saying? 100%. But before we go, promote your joints, man. Promote your joints, man.
Yes, mate.
Promote these joints, man.
This is the brand, Real Focus Apparel.
What's behind it though? What's behind it?
You know, is when I started the brand, it was like during lockdown, like I'm not too ashamed to say, like I was going through hell because the gyms are closed. The struggle was real. Like I'm a gym person, so for the past 10, 12 years, I haven't missed gym.
Right.
And that's part of my routine. I get up in the morning, pray, get ready, go to gym. It's part of my routine. So when I come home, it's me and the kids' time, or I chill and do what I'm doing.
Right.
I lost that. So it felt like half of me had gone.
Right.
I was sitting at home and I didn't have nothing to do. I was getting a bit depressed. So then I said to myself, you know what? Bro, you are more than gym. There's more to you than gym. God didn't just design you to be lifting weights and be training people. There's more to you.
Preach.
So you have to sit down and explore your purpose. So I sat down. I signed up for a youth training course.
Right.
In Reed Employment. So I did youth training course. I finished that. And I said to myself, reading about it is interesting. I said, like, you know what, bro? I need to do something that's gonna help empower a lot of kids and empower myself, because there must be something. Because a lot of these kids, when I was reading in this story, it was about mental health. And a lot of these kids that go through this mental health is because they go through mental health because they don't have that person that they can rely on.
Right.
Or they go and kill themselves because they don't hear that message.
Right.
So, and me as a person that was struggling myself with this pandemic, I came up with this brand, and it was Real Focus. So now, the reasoning came behind Real Focus is because it was only until I became Real Focus did I realize my purpose.
Right. Right.
So that's why I chose the brand. And then, because I was going through a little bit of a struggle myself, but the thing is, once I started to focus on what I wanted to do, it became easier. That's why I got the slogan on it. It says, no struggle is ever too much if you're real focused. This is a message that reaches out to people. There's a lot of people in this world, like your friends, that are sitting at home struggling. Yeah. All they want to be able to hear that same message that, you know what, although you're going through it, it gets easier. Sometimes you can't do that. You can't always get to people because people that you're relying on are going through the same struggle themselves.
Or worse.
That's what, or worse. So that's why I put it on a t-shirt. You purchase a t-shirt, you look at it, that's maybe the text message, the email that you can't get, but it's all constantly in your face. And I put on the sleeve, I put the words believe.
Right. Right.
Because if you don't believe it's going to get better, how's it going to ever get better? So I had to believe in it, and I had to get real focus and understand the struggle is only as hard as I want it to be.
Right.
So that's why I started the brand, and I was getting it out. And you know what? I've got a page on Instagram at Real Focus Apparel.
Salute.
Hit me up.
Salute.
Hit me up.
It got all colors,
all sizes.
all sizes.
We're moving. I've got pieces coming all the time. So you know, I'm not trying to be a Gucci, trying to make £1 million. I'm just trying to get the message out to 1 million people.
Right.
I'd rather that.
Right.
You know, so feel free to hit the page, make your orders, discounted as you mentioned, Sean, all day long. I've got everybody. I'm just here to show love to everybody.
Hey, one thing I want to say, man. Through this pandemic, right, it's been all negative. But there's been a lot of positive that's come out of it. A lot of big,
100%.
I always say, a lot of people have been creative, starting their own businesses, becoming entrepreneurs, very creative. And this is one of them, man. So salute to you, Real Focus Apparel, man. Go hit them up. You know what it is. Thank you for your time, Frank.
Love you, cuz. Big up,
Family.
man. Anytime, bro.
Hey, we're going to do this again, man.
100%, man.
Thank you for everybody that's been participating and watching too, man.
Yeah, big up, man. Big up.
You know
As you heard our message, you got your own kids. You might not be able to reach out to other people's kids, but please use something of what you've taken in today and preach it into your own kids.
That's right.
You know what? Today's generation starts in our own houses. We can get our kids right. Maybe they can speak to their friends and get them right.
That's right. Talk to them.
That's what we have to do.
Yo, man, salute.
Salute, bro.
Salute,
Big up.
salute. Everybody enjoy your weekend, man. I'll speak to you soon, Frank.
Bless. Take care.
Straightforward TV, man. Follow the movement. You know what
all
it is.
day long. Make sure you follow people.
No doubt.
Bless.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon, man.
Yeah, man.
Be safe, everyone. Later.